Welcome to an in-depth look at Genesis, chapter 40. We dive into the story of Joseph's time in an Egyptian prison. This chapter is crucial for Joseph's journey, setting the stage for future events in Egypt. At this point in the narrative, Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, was sold to the Ishmaelites, then sold to Potiphar. He was accused of assault by Potiphar's wife, and now finds himself unjustly imprisoned in Egypt. The prison life for Joseph takes a turn with the arrival of two new high-profile inmates, the Pharaoh's chief baker and chief cupbearer. The Pharaoh's chief baker and chief cupbearer had offended their master, the king of Egypt. As a result of their transgression, these two officials were put into custody in the prison where Joseph was confined. One night, both the cupbearer and the baker had dreams, each with its own significant meaning. Both men woke up distressed, as their dreams were vivid and seemed to carry great weight, yet they lacked anyone to interpret them. Seeing their distress, Joseph offered to interpret the dreams, stating that interpretations belonged to God. The cupbearer went first, describing the details of his dream to Joseph. He dreamt of a vine with 3 branches, which budded, blossomed, and produced ripe grapes. He squeezed the grapes into Pharaoh's cup and placed the cup in Pharaoh's hand. Joseph interpreted the 3 branches as 3 days. He assured the cupbearer that in 3 days, Pharaoh would lift his head and restore him to his position. Joseph implored the cupbearer, "When all goes well with you, remember me and show kindness to me, and make mention of me to Pharaoh, and get me out of this house." Encouraged by the cupbearer's good fortune, the chief baker then stepped forward to share his dream. The baker dreamt he had 3 baskets of white bread on his head, and the birds were eating the baked goods from the topmost basket. Joseph interpreted this dream as a grim prophecy. The 3 baskets represented 3 days, after which Pharaoh would lift his head from him and impale him on a pole, and the birds would eat his flesh. Just as Joseph predicted, the fates of the 2 officials were sealed by the passing of 3 days. The 3rd day was Pharaoh's birthday, and he prepared a feast for all his servants. Pharaoh lifted up the head of the chief cupbearer, restoring him to his former position in the palace. In stark contrast, Pharaoh lifted up the head of the chief baker and had him executed, just as Joseph had interpreted his dream. Chapter 40 ends with the immediate fulfillment of Joseph's divine interpretations. Despite his promise, the chief cupbearer failed to remember Joseph, leaving him in prison for a time longer, but setting the stage for Joseph's eventual rise. This story shows once again how God uses dreams to speak to us about our life.